GM Farcaster. It is a Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday, May 8th, and you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. This is season 2. We officially started season 2 yesterday. And we're now hosting season 2 in a slightly different place with our GM Farcaster network wallet on Zora. So everything else is the same, but just we have a little bit of different place for our NFT collection. So officially season 2, welcome to it. Adrienne, how are you doing?
Yeah, you kind of dropped that. You kind of dropped that yesterday without a lot of fanfare.
I was like, "Hey, season 2." I was too busy
Are all
for fanfare.
Seasons? Just a question: are all seasons necessarily 100 episodes long?
I don't know yet. Let's see. I have no idea. I'm making this up as I go. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. But this is going to get interesting. Yeah, we have a lot of things happening in season 2, so buckle up. It's going to be fun. Welcome, season 2 listeners. It's and Oxford just said like the background today. So the background is our amazing piece. We are GM Farcaster from Chris co-created that we didn't have chance to really talk about. So I wanted to make sure we showed this off today because it's really amazing. And this was the Here for the Art piece for May. So we are GM Farcaster celebrating episode 100 by Chris co-created. Airdrop to all our wowow and moly Hypersub. If you were a sub at the snapshot, your PFP is on here along with our premier partners, CLPs, and special guests. If you hold a GM Farcaster episode, your ENS is in the background. And I believe it should be open to mint now. I think it opened Monday. Yes, I actually did that, set up that mint, and I still have to ask myself if it's open yet. Yes, that is true. And we are going to be dropping his episode, his interview that I did with him about this and all of his art. And that will drop later today. And it will also be airdropped to our Mole and wowow Hypersub. So fun stuff, but I absolutely love this. He had, if you look within the GMs, those are all the PFPs. And then if you look really close and you can zoom in, there is a link as well within the description of this NFT where you can zoom in and find your name if you've minted an episode. So to answer that question, why mint? This why.
Why
mint? Why mint? You might end up in a piece of art. So there you go. I love this. I think it came out amazing. And I was just ecstatic when I saw it. It was so good.
It's so good. It's like it perfect captures his unique style, but then blends into what we're doing. It captures the kind of the community aspect. I always am so curious, like when he does these pieces, how he can get them to work out so perfectly when you don't know how many PFPs you're working with.
Well, you might notice there's a few duplicates.
Oh,
we're in there twice at the beginning, at the end.
Like, don't reveal how the magic is made.
Yeah, I won't.
Don't reveal the trick.
Show the sausage.
Okay.
But we're there twice. There's a couple other people there twice. So if you look closely, you'll see that. At the top of the G, you'll see some of our amazing sponsors. So I love that they got a little bit more of a high profile placement there, as well as those who have given us grants like Purple and Base. So I just love the whole thing. And I love seeing all these amazing PFPs in there who've helped us create. And you really, it's all of us creating this fun little show we've been doing for now we've completed 101 episodes. We're up to 102 today. Is that right? I think that's right.
Plus bonus content.
Plus bonus content. We've done a lot.
It's 101 plus.
Plus ETH Denver, plus all the Here for the Art interviews, plus
and all these people with us in this fun little weird journey.
All of them. There they are. I love this. So this is one of my favorite pieces so far. It's amazing. I say that about every single piece. So it's going to continue like that.
Yeah.
If
Sorry, Max and Chris. We now have a new favorite.
we have a new favorite. We have a new favorite kid.
And sorry, Chris co-created for next month because you're going to get bumped.
I was going to say, because next month we have Renee Campbell, which I know I'm going to love whatever she does because I love everything she does. So that'll probably be mid-month. We might try to time that right with the start of summer. So yeah, so I'm excited.
On-chain summer?
On-chain summer coming soon. You don't even know. Like, listen, when I say buckle up, I mean buckle up. Like the stuff that I am working on right now for on-chain summer, it's going to get a little crazy and it's going to get really fun. So that's all I'll say. Like I'm going to say wasted, but I'm going to say spent time being creative instead. Yesterday when I was supposed to be editing the episode, and this is the only person who can see this right now is Adrienne in our Discord. If you look under show ideas, you'll see a little something new for the new show that I'm working on. So I got a little creative and I love it and it's awesome and I can't wait to reveal it, but not yet, but soon as part of GM Farcaster Network. So just get ready. It's going to be fun. Okay, moving on. Enough about us. Moving on to Brian.
To the news of the day.
The rest of the things. This from Brian, and this was really interesting to me, and I know there's a lot of other creators who are in our audience. This is Brian from Unlonely. We've seen a great uptick in live streams happening on Unlonely. Generally, we are happy with this relatively organic growth. However, the number one challenge we face now is viewership growth. People don't know, and we've complained about this, when Unlonely streams are live, the people who do know don't feel a strong enough CTA to join the stream. And as a result, that's call to action. Some of our streamers have struggled to grow viewership. Our notification system can be improved. Our mobile experience can be improved. Our frames can be improved. What frames? Do they have frames? We feel like we've nailed down our product offering around live gamified token experiences, but now it's time to grow viewership. So the next few months, every inch of my body will be spent thinking and solving the challenge of viewership growth. People always say first-time founders worry about products, second-time founders worry about distribution. Consider this moment the death of the first-time founder. Love this. This is great. This is something that we've talked about. I talked with a few people about this. When you're on Twitter, and even this notification is not great anymore. It used to be really good. A circle around somebody's PFP when they were on Spaces. And you can see up top all the spaces that are live and things like that. And we really need something like that for Unlonely tied into Warpcast and other Farcaster clients that can say, this person's live on Unlonely right now. Because there is something about that serendipitous sort of, came across it. I had 10 minutes.
I just jumped in.
Yeah.
And discovery. And that's the, I mean, obviously for GM Farcaster, we're on at pretty regular timing. People know when to show up. We're casting a lot. You have to go to Unlonely and just randomly happen to see streams at the top if you're going to do it. And that doesn't happen.
Right, exactly. And there's been times when I've randomly seen, like Samantha's a great example. I'll see her post that she's going to be, doing her candles. And it's been a great experience to be in there and be in the chat and watching her do her thing. So, but it doesn't happen that often where I have those moments. And I think there's better ways to.
And the worst is past of someone you love saying, I'm going live now. And then you realize that was like 3 hours earlier.
Yes. Yes, I've had that happen too. Mm-hmm. It's like, I missed it. And it is really fun. The chat is really fun. Like I see you all down there and I never get to participate. So I want to be on more chats with other people.
Yeah. So by the way, just if for some of the newer people, if you're newer to Farcaster and you don't know who Brian is one of the co-founders of Unlonely, which is our streaming platform. Brian is also the person that Dan said will be the first to be deplatformed on Farcaster in a betting market. So if you don't know Brian, check him out. I was wondering, I thought maybe someone stole his phone and casted for him yesterday because it was a really thoughtful, reasonable, serious cast that I loved. But
I'm not going to say that out loud. Do
I don't.
that is funny.
Family
The
show,
other
guys.
thing,
Family
I don't know if
show.
you, I don't know if you remember. Dan also said he was having dinner with him Monday, and then this cast came out yesterday.
Oh, is Dan
Maybe.
mentoring Brian? Is Brian?
This is my.
growth?
I'm just
Is Brian's personal growth we're witnessing?
maybe, or maybe his mom got a hold of his phone. I don't know. His mom is lovely.
Yeah.
Love his mom. Shout out Brian and Grace's mom. So that might have had something to do with it. Maybe a combo that helped to put some focus on like what's next steps and things like that.
Wow.
So
I'm
there
here
you go.
for it.
I'm here for it too. Like this is exciting. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. Lots of other fun things happening yesterday. We've got a lot of exciting things happening within the ecosystem for some of our founder friends. And this is from Paragraph. As you know, last week they merged, acquired, that's the word I'm looking for, Mirror. And so now this is from Colin of Paragraph. We're hiring engineers and a lead designer at Paragraph. You'll be joining our small team of 3, and you'll be playing a key role in building the best on-chain publishing platform. Lots of responsibility, minimal bureaucracy, high focus, competitive compensation, and fully remote. So go check that out. If this is you, I think that's going to be an exciting thing. And then this from Jacob at Zora. Zora has acquired mint.fun. We're combining the best creator tools with the best collector tools to help bring the world's creativity on chain. Fun times ahead. And I had to laugh at this. Danica, strangely, in the replies, I don't see a mint button on that beautiful purple and black Zorb. And then Jacob responded with a mint. And it's really funny because Jacob is the one who says everything needs to be on chain. And yet he forgot. He forgot. He had a little forgetting moment. So that was pretty cool. And then we have this from Woj. Hire is about celebrating great people and great ideas. I was extremely impressed by people who got Hire tattoos during FarCon. I suggest that Hire community crowdfunds an airdrop for the 7 people who were bold and cool enough to do it. I created a multi-sig and seeded it with 200K of my own Hire detail below. So if you were one of the ones who got the tattoo, you're going to want to check this out. So I know that Humpty was one of those folks. So Humpty.eth, who was one of our on-chain media folks who stopped by our little panel there. He was one of the ones who got one of those. So Humpty, if you're listening, make sure you go check this out and get your hire, get your share. Okay, this was hilarious. We have new meme alert. New meme template. Choose local. This is Kristen, who is now a new meme in her tabletop shirt. And I don't even know what to do with this, but it's hilarious. So, more to come.
Incredible. Kristen was all over my feed last night and she leaned in and it's awesome.
So funny. So Kristen, I appreciate your sense of humor. Well, wait a minute. Here it comes. Maybe. Okay. We haven't had this happen in a while. Okay, maybe we'll move on. Come on. I know I have one of the memes. Sharing traditional memes on FC, pioneering FC native meme culture. Here we go. I love this so much. I can't even tell you. So Kristen, you're the new meme queen and you didn't even know it. So that's amazing. So I love this. And this is what are 3 tips to building an on-chain audience. This is a question from Megan Michelle.eth. Cameron, Samantha, Rileybeans, Adrienne, curious your thoughts and want to write an article with ideas. And some tips were down here from Sam. Write every day, even if you think it sounds bad. Engage with other high signal accounts. Be early on FC. A little late for that, but not really because we're all early. And then Cameron, the only part of on-chain creator stuff that matters to me is whether it offers a new medium for content creation I can't do in Web3. Directly drives more faster revenue. Outside of that, I treat it basically the same as if it was a normal creator where I make a bunch of stuff, see what hits, and do more of that. I'd push back a little bit on that. I'd say do it anyway, even if it is something you can do with Web2. because it is a new medium, and the fact that you're putting it on chain is something you can do. You will be able to do things that are different later on. And I'd love to hear your take on this. And I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to
well, I was going to say, I think
I'm just going to put you back on the screen and have you tell us what you said.
No, go back. I wrote my answer. Now
now you forget it.
Okay. Now I forget what I said. But Meg pushed back a little just on Cameron's, right? And I think he's saying if you can, it's not about what you can do today, but I think it's also about what you can do in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think Meg will write a little article, and she's crowdsourcing, but I love seeing people kind of crowdsource stuff material, because the whole thread becomes a great, like, an article in itself.
Absolutely. This is so interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, and I said this when we were talking about this, and the on-chain media part that we did at FarCon will be out probably later today or tomorrow. And it, you never know how you're going to activate those NFTs. And we've done that already, where we didn't have the expectation. We didn't know when we created certain things that we were going to activate it, for events, or activate it for certain other mints that people would have access to. So you just never know. And what did you say here?
Yeah. And I think it's funny, because I guess I identify now as an on-chain creator. Why?
Oh, good. You're no longer a normie. Welcome.
I don't know how that happened. No, I think this is what normie people do now. I'm so normal, and all normal people are also creating on-chain. So my advice was just hanging out where on-chain people hang out. Like, if you're trying to get an on-chain audience, or you have to be there, which for me, it's this place called Farcaster.
I don't know if you're familiar. You might.
Yeah. And when you're on Farcaster, it's treating Farcaster very differently than you do any other network you're a part of. So yes. I'm kind of just calling it unapologetically authentic.
I love that.
And my big thing is, when I joined Farcaster, it was really easy to be authentic because no one was paying attention.
Yeah, that's true.
We called it group chat vibes. Yes, it was public, but it felt very safe. So something for me personally, this is not related to on-chain, but just Farcaster in general, and maybe GM Farcaster can help with this, but kind of as culture protectors, how do we keep Farcaster a place where people can come as it grows, and it is a place that people can be unapologetically authentic and kind of truly yourself. But in terms of on-chain creator, it's just lean in and use all the tools and experiment. And, it's whatever they are, but be willing to kind of use all the beta versions, the test nets, the Unlonelys, paragraphs, Zoras, Hypersubs, like, use them as soon as they're available, play with them.
By the way, it's a lot more work. I'm going to
so
tell
much
you right
more
now,
work.
it is so much more work. And there are days that are very, very frustrating, because this stuff is new and things are going to go wrong and things are going to break. And so you have to have a little bit of resilience in that part of it. And we've seen this happen.
And things won't be perfect.
Again. Things won't be perfect.
Like we just talked, it bothers me that I just posted episode 101 in our RSS feed, and before episode 100. So like 100 will come later. But maybe this goes back to the unapologetically authentic, which is if you're connecting with an on-chain audience, then the audience is a little more gracious and forgiving with your imperfections.
Yep. And our 100 will also be in different places. So I was like, oh, it's fine, because 100 is part of season 1, which is going to be in this NFT collection. And she's like, yeah, but the RSS feed. And I'm like, oh.
It's a little janky. Yeah. Everything's a little janky.
And you have to just roll with it. And you know what? It gets better every day. Every day there's something new that helps a little bit. But a lot of times it's like, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. A lot. There's a lot of that. So you have to just, be ready and don't let it bother you too much. But it's work. It's a lot of work.
It's really right. And only after like a long period of time can you zoom out and remember. I mean, this was one of the best parts about FarCon. And I know we have our special FarCon episode tomorrow to really go into it, but to compare where the state of Farcaster was at FarCon 0, the beta 1 to the Venice Beach one, in terms of what's been built out, it's like you can't even compare. So
as crazy
janky as things are today, it's like it'll never have been as bad, and it'll keep getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the tools will just continue to get better, especially like right now you're building for such a small group and such a small audience that it's, there's only so much attention that's going to happen there. All right. So I'm just looking for where we're going next because we're running short on time here per usual. Because I did want to talk about this. We are going to do a recap tomorrow of FarCon at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So excited about this. So FarCon recap tomorrow at noon ET, 9 a.m. PT, hosted by us with Adrienne McBain, Heavyweight, Matthew Dilsteck, and hopefully Ted. Ted is traveling, so I'm hoping we will be able to get her on as well, and myself. And we'll be sharing highlights from FarCon 2024 right here on Unlonely. So I'm trying to keep our takes low, but coming soon. There's also an AMA digest. So hope everyone this is from Kojo. We hope everyone had an awesome time at FarCon. If you couldn't make it, we've got your back. This week, we're replacing the Ponder landing page with a Q&A summary of the main stage AMAs, Dan Brun, etc. Read the questions or see a link to full videos, courtesy of Nounish Prof. With the little heart thing. Thank you. Right back at you, Kojo. WePonder.io. You may also notice a few Easter eggs on the site. In the coming weeks, we'll be building out an on-chain focused Q&A experience. Think Quora, but with only questions and answers you actually care about from real Farcasters. I like the way you put that. We're excited to show you all in the coming weeks. So this is fun. And I'm actually having a little conversation with Colin later about one of the things we're working on for On-Chain Summer. Also, this from Angel, not a bot, from a simple action to a DB that helps other builders assess FID's reputation. Composable frapps are here. Want to use bot or not data in your frapp? At me. So releasing a teaser of interested FYI, first third-party integration with bot or not /@SayAngel. In my humble opinion, bot or not is the closest we have to proof of personhood on Farcaster today. Start enriching the social graph of FC today by installing this cast action and checking your latest cast. So this is really interesting. But what really came from this was your comment back, guys. Should we make frapps a thing? It is a totally made up word. So, because, that was your, what does frapps stand for? Afraid to ask. Totally made up word. So don't feel bad. It's what I'm calling Farcaster native apps, frames plus actions, etc. Farcaster frames, Farcaster actions, multi-step action with frames, frapps. So I guess we now have frapps. So there you go. And then I wanted to talk really quickly about this as we wrap up. I loved what you wrote here. My favorite question I got meeting people at FarCon, what does DevOps have to do with GM Farcaster? I love that I'm known for DevOps, and I had a lot of fun answering this question. My gut reaction was to answer nothing, but after some reflection, I came up with some similarities. And I'm just going to read this, and then you can expand upon it a little bit. DevOps enables large organizations to ship as fast as startups. GM Farcaster protects Farcaster culture and makes it feel like a cozy corner, even as DAU increases. Similarity, both make large feel small. DevOps is pushing autonomy and decision-making to the edges, encouraging bottoms-up innovation and shunning top-down command and control leadership. GM Farcaster celebrates the permissionless nature of the protocol, encouraging builders and creators to lean in. Similarity, both elevate the builders and doers. The most obvious similarity is it's all about the culture. DevOps works best within organizations with a generative culture and could argue it's only culture where it works. Number one answer to why Farcaster is so good is the people, aka the culture. A reflection, why does it even matter? Why do I feel it's important to tie these together, to weave a story about my career path, to give it meaning, to use my work as identity and measure self-worth? Maybe GM Farcaster is just a media company. It doesn't relate to DevOps at all. So I loved this. I loved your thoughtfulness on this. And I just really enjoyed, reading and thinking about it because I know zero about DevOps. This is not my world.
But I love DevOps, right? Like
I
that's
know you
kind of,
do. That's been your world. Yeah.
By the way, just total meta. That had been on my mind because a few people, like more than one, was like, oh, I know you cast about DevOps and that was, but what's that have to do with GM Farcaster? And so I had a few kind of conversations with it. And that was on my mind. I wasn't going to cast about it. And then just kind of randomly, I was at my kid's dentist last night. So during his appointment, I started casting some thoughts. It's fascinating. It's not something I would have thought you would have thought interesting. Someone else had mentioned it. So it just when in doubt, if you've got things in your head, you should just cast all the things.
Yeah, totally.
Because you never know what's going to resonate with people. So
I found it so interesting and so thoughtful in terms of your thinking about it. And I hadn't thought about it at all. So,
well, I don't even know. I mean, I actually did write a post about how kind of my past DevOps and past career path has kind of led naturally to Farcaster because I've been drawn towards this increasing pull towards autonomy and kind of self-sovereignty. DevOps is a way of giving autonomy to engineers in large organizations. At least that's my so it's a natural. But what I also found interesting is this need for me to connect kind of past story, like my past identity to current identity, and kind of taking all of these things that I've built up and my identity. And then I just thought, and at the same time, but maybe I don't need to. Like maybe you can just do. When I had a conversation with someone, I said, well, maybe it was just a pivot, and now I'm doing media, and this is what I'm doing now.
It's all
why
Prop's
do I need to
fault.
like
she just dragged me into this.
Yeah. So here we are.
Well, that's really interesting because I've had those moments too, where it's like, why, it's almost like feeling like you have to qualify yourself. So I've had those conversations too, like, well, what in your like, have you done this before? Do you have this? So yes, I have. Part of my college degree was communications. I have these weird different things along the way where I've done media and interviews and things like that, and they're very disconnected. But I can see this connection if I want to. But all of them, so it's like, why do we feel like we have to justify some of this? And I don't know what that is, but there is something about that, crazy resume, crazy LinkedIn. I had a moment where I was like, I feel like I should just delete my LinkedIn because it's so nuts at this point. It like
many cases,
deleting their LinkedIn for many reasons, by the way, like because I never look at it, but also because it's so all over the place and so many different things that it's really hard to like, I don't know. I don't even want to look at it because it is so, disjointed, I guess is the best word. So I don't know, maybe there's something in us that feels like we need to find logic in our path. I don't know. Interesting. Wow. So there you go.
I don't think we're going to answer it now, but
it's very deep. It's very deep.
Yeah.
For another
deep
time.
Thoughts.
Deep thoughts. Deep thoughts. Way too early for deep thoughts. Another deep thought. This one from Rileybeans. The minute you catch yourself saying, why isn't this person replying to me? Or why am I not getting the attention I deserve? Banish that thought, go outside, take a nap, clear your mind, however you need. You just hit a 2 online checkpoint. You are nothing, you are everything. And I thought that was some great advice. Thank you, Rileybeans. Or if you ever have a moment where you think, do you know who I am? Or do you know how many followers I have? Any of that? Like, please.
Check yourself. So
check yourself.
I love this cast by Rileybeans. And I am always wondering, I'm like, is she subcasting someone or is it the note to self?
I felt like this was a note to self.
Note to self,
like, that's what it felt like to me. But maybe not. Maybe she had a conversation with somebody, or I don't know. But I felt like it was more of a note to self. And I've had similar notes to my own self. So yeah, where I get a little. I had this happen yesterday, actually, where I had a little moment, but it really wasn't important.
Shout out Mac from Kiwi News. I had a conversation with him about this. The kind of like, the why aren't people thinking about me? It's not them, it's you.
And this from Borodutch, this is the new minimalist. This is a way to catch up on what's happening on Farcaster. So take a look at this. And apparently I met Borodutch, but I still don't know who he is. So I don't know if I did. I'm not quite sure I did.
He was like one of the people I didn't meet.
I don't know that I did. He said I did.
Oh.
I don't remember meeting him. So
you can't trust him, so he could be lying.
I can't trust him. Could be a total psyop.
Did you meet a Hunter S. Thompson lookalike? That's all I was told is there's
now I gotta go look
Hunter S. Thompson walking around the conference and I didn't see him. And that was Borodutch.
No, I don't think. And now I have to go check my badge and see if there's icebreaker proof. I need proof of Borodutch. I'm not quite sure that we met. Anyway, okay, that is it. I'll be dropping the recording of 100, both in video and audio form. I had to do a lot of editing yesterday to try and get it in a little better shape because we did a little janky version on the phone, but it is also available. Currently, the live version is also available. So, but we'll have a better version out shortly, and we will see you all tomorrow. We're back tomorrow. And okay, I was going for 29 minutes, and yet we still ran over. We got chatting today. We got a little chatty today. So we will see you all tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. And with that, bye-bye.